The August heat in Houston pressed down like a living thing, thick and unrelenting, wrapping the city in a shimmering haze. At 9:47 a.m., three small figures pushed through the towering glass doors of Sterling Land and Development's gleaming downtown headquarters on Louisiana Street. Their sneakers, once white, now cracked and stained with the stubborn red clay of the East Side trailer parks, left faint, muddy prints across the polished travertine floor. The air inside was shockingly cold, carrying the sharp scent of lemon disinfectant, fresh espresso from the executive cafe, and the faint, expensive leather of briefcases belonging to men who never sweated in public. Javier Morales, 10 years old, walked in front, shoulders squared the way his father had taught him. In his arms, he clutched a thick manila envelope, edges soft from years of being folded and unfolded, sealed with yellowed Scotch tape that had begun to peel. Behind him came Sophia, 8, her black hair in two uneven braids their mother had done the night before she went into the hospital for the last time. Little Mateo, 6, held the hem of Javier's t-shirt with one small fist, his free hand wiping sweat and tears from his round cheeks. The security guard, a broad man named Tyrone who had worked the lobby for 12 years, straightened. "Whoa, kids, this is corporate headquarters. You got an appointment?" Javier's voice was steady, though his hands trembled slightly. "Our mom said if she couldn't come, we bring this envelope to the man who runs everything. She said we need to check our plot balance." Tyrone blinked. A few early clients in tailored suits turned their heads, eyebrows lifting in amusement. The receptionist, Carla Mendoza, perfect makeup, perfect bun, leaned forward with the gentle but firm smile reserved for lost delivery drivers. "Sweethearts, this isn't a title company or a cemetery office. We handle commercial development. Maybe the county appraisal district downtown can help." Marcus Sterling, CEO, had been standing 10 feet away reviewing drone footage of the Cypress Grove site on his tablet. He was 47, silver threading his dark hair, charcoal suit tailored so perfectly it moved like a second skin. That morning he had signed the final environmental waiver that would allow bulldozers to roll over Oakwood Memorial Cemetery in exactly 29 days. The 1,200-acre project would become 4,800 luxury townhomes, a private golf course, and upscale retail, $480 million in projected revenue. He had already mentally rehearsed the ribbon-cutting speech. He looked up at the sound of the children's voices and felt the familiar flicker of irritation. Another interruption, another mess to clean up. Marcus crossed the lobby, Italian loafers clicking sharply. "What seems to be the problem here?" Javier looked straight into his eyes, something most adults in this building never dared to do. "Sir, our mom kept this envelope for years. She said the land with the grays is protected. She said if anyone tries to take it, we show this paper to the man in charge and ask about the balance." Marcus gave a short, dry laugh that carried across the marble. "Balance? Son, this is a development company, not a bank. We don't keep plots like storage lockers." A ripple of polite laughter moved through the small crowd of clients and staff. One investor in a navy suit actually pulled out his phone to record, smirking. Marcus reached into his breast pocket, pulled out a crisp $100 bill, snapped it once between his fingers, and let it flutter to the floor at Javier's feet. The bill landed on the travertine like a bright green leaf on snow. "Here," he said, voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "That's more money than you'll ever see from any plot in this city. Buy some new shoes, buy lunch, and take your little dirt footprints out of my lobby before the cleaning crew has to work overtime." The laughter grew louder. Carla looked uncomfortable but said nothing. Tyrone shifted his weight, embarrassed. Javier stared at the bill but did not bend. His jaw tightened the way his father's used to when the foreman yelled at the refinery. "We're not asking for money, sir. Mom said it's already ours. We just want to know if our dad's grave is safe." Marcus's smile faded into something colder. "Security will escort you out. Next time, kids, try the public library when you want story time." He turned to walk back toward the elevators. "Wait." The word was small, but it cut through the lobby like a blade. Marcus stopped. Javier carefully opened the envelope. Inside, protected by layers of tissue paper his mother had saved from old birthday gifts, lay the original 1928 deed of donation, brittle onion skin paper typed in fading black ink, signed by his great-grandfather Antonio Morales in careful looping script. The heading read, Deed of Gift, 42 acres known as Oakwood Burial Ground, to the city of Houston for perpetual public cemetery use with reversionary clause. Below the legal language in Antonio's own handwriting, should this land ever be sold, developed for private profit, or repurposed away from its sacred purpose, full title in 100 times the 1928 appraised value, adjusted for inflation per Texas law, shall revert immediately to the direct living descendants of Antonio Morales. At the bottom, a 1995 notarized acknowledgement. Sterling Land and Development hereby recognizes and agrees to honor the above reversionary interest. Marcus J. Sterling, Sr. Marcus felt the blood leave his face. He knew that signature. It was his father's. The lobby had gone completely silent. Even the fountain in the center seemed to stop murmuring. Marcus took the deed with hands that suddenly felt too large, too clumsy. He scanned the old paper, then looked at the three children standing in their dusty clothes, their mother's last instructions clutched between them. Something inside his chest, something he had buried under quarterly reports and stock options for 25 years, cracked open. "Follow me," he said quietly, "all of you." He led them past the staring clients, past Carla, whose mouth was open in shock, through a private side corridor that only executives used. The walk felt endless. Every step echoed with the memory of his father's voice from decades ago. "Old paper, son. Cemetery clauses never hold up. We'll quiet title it later." They never had. In the executive conference room on the 28th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows framed the hazy Houston skyline. Marcus sat the children at the long glass table. He dimmed the lights and pulled up the digital archive on the 85-inch screen. The deed scanned perfectly. The reversion clause was ironclad, upheld by Texas Supreme Court precedent in 1978 and again in 2011. Current independent appraisal of the 42 acres, $312,400,000. Reversion penalty, exactly 100 times the original 1928 value, inflation adjusted, $312 million due immediately upon breach. $0 had ever been paid to the Morales family. Marcus opened the second document from the envelope, a single sheet of lined notebook paper, written in Rosa Morales' careful, slightly shaky handwriting 3 months before the cancer took her. He read it aloud slowly, every word heavy in the quiet room. "To whoever holds this deed when my children come, my name is Rosa Morales. My great-grandfather Antonio gave that land in 1928 so that poor families, maids, refinery workers, cooks, laborers, but could bury their loved ones with dignity instead of in unmarked potter's fields. He planted the first oak tree himself. He carried his own mother's coffin on his shoulders. My husband Miguel is buried there. My grandparents. My baby daughter Isabella, who only lived 3 days. I visit them every Sunday with flowers I pick from the ditch because I can't afford store-bought. This company wants to pave it over for rich people's houses. If you are reading this, it means I am gone, and my children are standing in front of you. Please see them. Do not make them small. Do not make them beg. They carry my blood, my love, my tears. This isn't about money. It's about respect. Graves don't forget. Neither should you. With whatever strength that I have left. Rosa Morales, Houston, Texas, May 12, 2025. When Marcus finished reading, the room was so quiet they could hear the faint hum of the air conditioning and Sophia's soft, hiccuping sobs. Javier's eyes were dry but shining. "Mom said you would do the right thing," he whispered. "She said even rich men have hearts." Marcus stared at the children. For the first time in years, he saw them. Not as problems, not as obstacles to a project, but as living, breathing pieces of the history he had tried to bulldoze. He walked around the table, knelt on both. "Was wrong. I was cruel. I was blind. I owe you. I owe you, 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 I owe you was wrong. I was cruel, I was blind. I owe you more than an apology. I owe your mother, your father, your great-grandfather, everything. He reached into his pocket, pulled out the $100 bill he had dropped earlier. Carla had quietly retrieved it, tore it slowly in half, and let the pieces fall onto the glass table like confetti from a funeral. Then he stood, turned to the speakerphone on the table, and pressed the all-building intercom. This is Marcus Sterling. Effective immediately, the Cypress Grove development is canceled. All permits are suspended. All contractors are to stand down. Every employee involved in the project is to report to the atrium in 15 minutes. This is not a drill. The atrium on the ground floor filled quickly. Over 420 employees, from executives to janitors, from interns to the vice presidents who had flown in from Dallas that morning. Marcus stood on the small stage, usually reserved for quarterly earnings calls. The three children sat in the front row with Carla beside them, holding their hands. Marcus spoke without notes, without slides, without the polished corporate voice he had perfected over 20 years. 80 years ago, a man named Antonio Morales signed a deed giving 42 acres of his family's land to the city so that people who worked with their hands could have a place to rest in peace. Today, three of his great-grandchildren walked into this building dusty, scared, and carrying their mother's last words. I offered them a $100 bill and told them to leave. I laughed at them. Many of you laughed too. That moment will live in my memory longer than any deal I have ever closed. Because of my arrogance, we came within 29 days of paving over sacred ground. Graves of fathers, mothers, babies, veterans, teachers, line workers. Graves of people who built this city while we sold it. The reversion clause is real. We owe $312 million. We will pay every cent. Not because the law forces us, but because it is the right thing to do. From this day forward, Sterling Land and Development will never again develop a cemetery, a historic site, or land with reversionary protections without full descendant consent and independent legal review. 50% of every executive bonus and development fee for the next 10 years will fund the Rosa and Antonio Morales Preservation Initiative, restoring historic cemeteries, providing scholarships for children of cemetery workers and refinery families, and creating legal defense funds for families fighting land grabs. And one final promise, spoken in front of all of you and in front of these three children. The next time any person, any child, any grandmother, any worker who does not look like our usual clients walks through those doors, I expect every single one of you to treat them as if they are carrying the last words of someone they love, because they might be. The silence that followed was deeper than any boardroom quiet Marcus had ever known. Then slowly one janitor in the back began to clap, then another. Then the entire atrium rose in a standing ovation that shook the glass walls. The money came. The court confirmed the reversion within 6 weeks. $312 million flowed into a protected trust. The children moved with Ana Lucia into a beautiful four-bedroom home in a quiet neighborhood near the cemetery. New headstones were carved. Fresh sod was laid. Oak trees were planted where the bulldozers had waited. But the real healing happened in the small moments no balance sheet could record. On the first Sunday after the money cleared, Marcus drove to the cemetery alone at dawn. He parked his Mercedes at the gate and walked the gravel path to the Morales family plot. The morning was still, dew sparkling on the grass. He knelt at Miguel Morales' headstone, then at Rosa's fresh one, then at the tiny marker for baby Isabella. He pulled Rosa's letter from his breast pocket, the original now protected in a clear sleeve, and read it aloud again, voice breaking on every line. When he finished, he pressed his forehead to the cool granite of Antonio's stone and cried. Deep, ugly, shaking sobs that came from a place he had sealed off since he was a boy, watching his own father bulldoze neighborhoods for profit. "I'm sorry," he whispered to the dead. "I'm so damn sorry." Footsteps crunched on the gravel behind him. He turned. Javier, Sofia, and Mateo stood there in clean Sunday clothes, holding small bouquets of flowers they had picked themselves from the new garden at their house. Aunt Lucia waited at the gate, giving them space. Javier walked forward and held out a single white rose. "Mom always said white roses mean peace." Marcus took the flower with trembling hands. Sofia and Mateo stepped closer until all three children were surrounding him. Sofia spoke first. "You didn't have to give us the money, Mr. Sterling. You could have fought in court for years, but you didn't." Mateo, the youngest, reached up and wiped a tear from Marcus's cheek with his small palm, the same way his mother used to wipe his own tears. "Are you still sad?" Marcus pulled all three children into his arms, holding them tightly against his chest. For the first time in his adult life, he cried in front of someone without shame. "I was sad for a long time," he whispered into Javier's hair. "But today I feel something better than sad. I feel forgiven." They stayed like that for a long time. Four people who should never have met, kneeling among the graves of people who had paid for their meeting with their lives. When they finally stood, Javier took Marcus's hand. "Mom said if you ever did the right thing, we should call you Uncle Marcus. Is that okay?" Marcus's throat closed. He could only nod. As the sun rose higher, painting the headstones gold, the four of them walked the rows together. Marcus listened while the children told stories about their father, their mother, their baby sister. He laughed when they laughed. He cried when they cried. At the gate, before they left, Marcus turned back one last time. The wind moved gently through the new oak saplings, carrying the faint scent of jasmine Rosa had loved. He spoke softly as if the dead could hear. "I promise you, Rosa. I promise you, Antonio. Your family will never be invisible again. Not while I'm breathing." Then he looked down at the three children who had once been nothing more than obstacles to a quarterly report, now holding his hands like family. "Your mom and dad are proud of you," he said, "and I'm trying every single day to become the man they deserve to meet." The children smiled, the first real, unguarded smiles he had seen from them. As they walked toward the cars, hand in hand, the Houston sun broke fully over the horizon, lighting the cemetery in warm gold. In that moment, Marcus Sterling finally understood what true wealth was. It wasn't the $312 million he had paid. It wasn't the buildings he had built. It was the small, dusty hand of a child who no longer had to be afraid, trusting him enough to call him uncle. And somewhere in the quiet peace of Oakwood Memorial Cemetery, two parents and a baby girl finally rested without fear, because a man who once wanted to pave over their memory had instead chosen to protect it with his whole heart. The balance had been paid in full, not in dollars, but in love, in tears, in promises kept, and in three children who would grow up knowing that even the most powerful man in the room could kneel, apologize, and become family. Thank you for staying with this story until the very end. If it moved you even just a little, please leave a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps bring more heartfelt stories to life every single day.